now the app, but really we're trying to explore other ways to really reach out to other people who don't have Android phones. So we are hoping we'll upscale this project. And of course, because we've got a whole lot of tech geeks in here, we are hoping also to benefit from a few ideas. So if you have any suggestions that you want to share with us, let's welcome.
I'm Love More from Herald. Mine is more on the side of the politics, not the technical aspect. You understand that for any initiative to succeed, it must have an input of government. I understand the Ministry of Justice is also doing an outreach program on the Constitution. How involved is the Ministry of Justice? What is their input in your initiative, if they have any input?
We've been both LRF and Center for Applied Legal Research. We've been working with the Ministry of Justice. With regards to the Constitution, in terms of raising awareness, we've been working with the Constitutional Affairs Department. We've shared our text with them, and they had said they are willing to even use our outputs in terms of information dissemination. So we do realize and acknowledge their important role in terms of reaching out to communities, especially at ward level.
Thank you. I think first and foremost, what I would like to do is applaud your efforts, because I think it's very critical what you're doing at national level. What I'm more interested in is the dissemination of whatever constitutional interpretations you have to the marginalized. And I'm coming from a basis where I'm saying we have, let's say, for example, at USAID, we have a total of, say, 15,000, maybe, it's just an assumption. And we have that whole broad spectrum of people to which we can disseminate this information. Does your foundation have any specific, agendas towards such institutions, like they use it as using them maybe as a means of furthering your dissemination?
We've not really explored that option of engaging tertiary institutions. Of course, we do understand there is some bureaucracy with regards to use of tertiary institutions. But the reason why we are also working with Legal Resources Foundation is because of their extensive outreach. Fine, they may not be able to reach as many people on the ground, but they have an extensive outreach. Maybe I can give them a Lucy.
Yes, Legal Resources Foundation has about 25 offices around the country and in rural communities. So we've been talking about, for instance, Chirezi. What we actually intend to do under this project is take the declaration of rights to the Shangani people in Chikombedzi. We've actually identified wards that we're going to start working with in Chikombedzi. The same applies to Binga. So we'll be going into the rural communities, making use of paralegals to conduct outreach programs, which then target the marginalized and vulnerable groups.
I just wanted to check, is there a facility there for interaction with the people who want to look at the information? Are they able to ask any questions or at least interact with people?
In terms of the app, we have not put an option for comments per se, but there's an option to just share the information. However, there's also a link to our Facebook and our Twitter handles. So we would appreciate if people have any feedback to use those platforms.
If I may make a suggestion as well. I love Twitter. Most people know that, but WhatsApp is a very powerful tool. It might be a good idea to actually have a WhatsApp line, maybe even SMS line, so that people can SMS you.
Thank you for that. I don't know if there are any questions or suggestions.
I'm not journalist, but it's I'd like to question a certain issue. There was a mention of simplification of language so that the layman can actually understand. Was this simplification done in such a manner that when the individual reads, they can actually actively defend their rights when they're being infringed, or they might be prone to legalese sometimes when, because of the simplification that has been done. Was it done in such a manner to consider those issues?
Can I leave it to maybe Nyasha? Okay, what we did in terms of process, we've got a team of lawyers that did the simplification, but we also shared that information with non-lawyers to check if people are able to understand. So what we're trying to do is to maintain the substance of what's being said in the Constitution, but also making it easy to understand. So yes, you can read about your right to healthcare in the Constitution. It may not be as clear, but when you read on the app, it's simpler. And we did not really interpret it as in, put our own, infer our own meaning into it, because we wanted to maintain the substance of what the Constitution says, so that you don't read our simplified text and then the Constitution is saying something else. No, we try to maintain what the Constitution says.
If you're looking for developers, I'll just also throw this in. There's some young developers and even some old developers in this room. These premises, rather, there's a young lady out here in a suit. He's not normally dressed that way, but he looks very smart today. The young developers like him, and there's others in the room as well. So if you're looking for local developers, I know there's this Zim asset creation jobs.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Feel free to approach us with any ideas, really, because we are hoping to really keep on, tapping into new technology. All right. Thank you very much. So yes, let's spread the words. Let's know our rights. Let's claim them.